want to be able to ride some horses and,
So good.
have some chicken. I just wanted to get a good job. Had been a while since I've taken a loss like that.
Fought for ATT one time,
Yeah,
like took it on like a day's
dude,
notice or
dude.
something. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Between Rounds. I'm really glad to be joined this week by Johnny Eblen, who, of course, is an absolute middleweight stud, been smashing people for years and years, and we've never really had the chance to sit down and properly have a conversation, have we, like
Not just
this?
me and you.
No,
No, it's
no.
always been with a group of people, but thanks for having
It's
me,
good to
man.
be here.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you've mastered an art that I have always been terrified of in wrestling, and it's such an oppressive style of fighting, isn't it? That you've got. It must be a very interesting thing to watch somebody drain in front of you, both in confidence and in physicality. Like, because I'm coming from it from a different perspective. I was always trying to catch somebody with the shot that would just
Yeah.
end it.
And
Whereas, like, the idea of just being able to dominate someone and grind
yeah,
them into the canvas, like, what's that like? It must feel like a superpower in MMA.
it is. It's kind of a superpower, but I resent guys like you that can like set
Please
things
don't. I
up.
got taken down too much.
Yeah, but like guys that, put it together and can hit and not get hit and be elusive, not get taken down and make the fight harder for guys like me. So that's why I've adapted my style to kind of be good everywhere.
Mm,
Obviously I'm gonna, see where I have strengths. I'm gonna probably take the fight where the fight's better for me. But I think what really sets me apart from a lot of other fighters is that I can fight everywhere. I can fight on the feet. It's maybe not the best thing to do. And my coaches will be like, "Hey, we got to make sure we win the fight too. Can't just be exciting and stay on the feet the whole time." And I love that. Like there'll be days where I spar and I don't shoot one single takedown. All I'm doing is defending takedowns and striking.
really.
So yeah, like I developed my game to be, I can use a lot of different tools, but when it comes fight night, I'm definitely trying to get the win, and you want to be safe about it too.
Mm.
So that's also about um, it's good to have like a similar style to me because you can slow fighters down. They can't hit you, you can hit them. Um, and yeah, man, it's good. It's a good fight style to have to not get damaged.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It always seems like from because I was always like, okay, I can strike, but now I've got to learn wrestling to stop takedowns, and I've got to learn jiu-jitsu both, defensively and offensively if I
yeah,
get taken down, and also, if I need to do something other than try and get back to my feet. Whereas with wrestling, it's like, well, I've got the skill set. Now I can just kind of bolt on the finishing aspects to it.
yeah.
Does that make sense? Do you feel
Yeah,
like
I
that?
think it depends on what kind of athlete you are, though, too.
Okay.
Because like, there's some guys that are great at grappling, but they just don't pick up the striking. They just don't have fast twitch muscle fibers. They don't have good footwork. Um, or even if they do, they don't move their head. They don't. They just and they don't put combinations together. They don't end them with kicks. Those are some things I've been actually working on. Like ending combinations with kicks. Like that's why Pitbull is like that's a big thing that he tries to get me to do is like don't throw naked kicks, and if you throw a good combo with your hands, try to finish it with a kick,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And there's some kids that I see that are young that are kind of like coming from your skill set, like where they're mainly like stand up fighters, and it's just so easy for them to just put combinations together.
Yeah.
It's like effortless. It's kind of like me effortlessly wrestling, taking someone down.
Yeah. But
It's like I resent that a little bit. I'm like, damn, I wish I had that just naturally.
it's nice to have it, but then at the same time, it completely shuts your game down when you're so focused on being defensive. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, that's the thing. You can't, you got to understand, you got to be willing to get taken down, understanding like I'm going to get up, I'll be fine to let yourself open up.
Mm,
So I think that's actually helped my striking out is because it's like if I get taken down, I don't care. So I can kind of like open up a little bit more.
mm.
Um,
Why do you think so many wrestlers seem to have like a natural punching power?
I don't know,
I mean,
maybe
like
like
if you think,
something with like I don't know, like having heavy hips, like understanding how to like connect with the ground
mm,
when you throw.
I wonder if it was like the talk in the midsection, like if
Maybe.
like
But I think it's like the connection with like I don't know, man. Maybe it's like understanding like how to connect with the ground while you're punching. That's a big thing. I feel like
mm,
anytime you're up in the air, that's not a good thing,
yeah,
And with grappling and wrestling especially, you want to be able to anchor yourself down. Especially when a guy's trying to take you down. Um, obviously there's like tactical ways to get out, but sometimes you just have to get, it's called getting big on somebody. Like you just got to connect and like don't let them do what they're gonna do, you
Right.
know. And I think that kind of transitions to fighting a little bit, where you set your feet and you're like, I'm not moving and I'm gonna throw hard, like almost like inside exchanging, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That makes sense. That makes sense. Were you a wrestler before you knew of MMA?
yeah.
Right. Okay.
So I was like, my brother, my both my brothers wrestled. Um, I started wrestling because of that, and then my second or yeah, the second oldest, Tommy. I'm the youngest. My oldest brother was Timmy. He's the one that got us all started with wrestling in Iowa, and that's where I grew. That's where I was born. But then we moved to Kansas City, and that's where I grew up. But got our whole family to wrestle, and Tommy actually got his foot wet into MMA. He was doing some amateur MMA
All
when I was a
right.
kid, and I thought it was so cool. And I remember, you know, we'd pop in VCRs and watch Pride, and like I was just like, "What the heck is this?" Like this was when nobody watched it, and like nobody cared.
Yeah.
And he was like on the amateur scene a little bit, but then he eventually like had to get a job and whatever. But he was trying to wrestle in college and fight, and he ended up like getting kicked off the wrestling team because he was fighting.
Really.
Yeah,
That's a
and
shame.
then he ended up going getting a normal job, and you know had kids and life happened.
Mm.
But yeah, I've always had a you know an itch to kind of fight, but I never really had an outlet. And you know it wasn't until after I was done with wrestling in Missouri and I moved to South Florida, where I stumbled upon ATT. And
What a gym to
dude,
stumble upon
right?
as well, right?
Um, I worked with a buddy named JP Reese. He actually he wrestled at Missouri 10 years before me. He grew up with like or he went up with like Tyron Woodley and Ben Askren, and he was like that age of guys.
Okay.
So he did the same thing I did. He moved to Florida. He was trying to work, ended up fighting. Then he quit fighting. Then he started working again, and then I had the same I worked at the same company as him. And he kind of like he's like, "Hey man, you should go check out ATT." And I was like, "Okay, I'll maybe go check it out." I was coaching wrestling at the same time down there, and Steve Mako was also coaching wrestling, and we got connected and we wrestled. And he's like, "Dude, you're pretty good." Kicked my ass, but he's like, "Dude, you put up a good fight. You should come to the gym." I was like, "All right." So I started going to ATT, and next thing I know, I quit my job and I started fighting. So
Wow.
yeah,
So what did you have to change much about your wrestling style for MMA? Did you get
yeah.
like was Steve Mocco saying like, okay, you're good at this, but do this for MMA, or were there some things you had to tweak?
So Steve got me into like foot sweeps
Mm.
and like he really got me into like this foot sweep stuff and getting guys off balance and you know misdirection stuff from like upper body because he's like he has like the judo type you know wrestling and like really great coach. But I would say learning jujitsu definitely helped my wrestling. Like my wrestling got exponentially better when I wasn't afraid to go to my back.
Mm.
Because in wrestling you're taught to like stay off your back from when you're a little kid. Like never go to your back because that's the worst thing that can happen to you is getting pinned, right? But in jujitsu, it's completely fine. As soon as I broke that fear and I understood, like, oh, there's so many, it's like a whole nother world when you like can put your back to the mat and like
Yeah.
do stuff, you know. And it opened up a whole plethora of like stuff I could do, and I think it really opened up my game. Like in college wrestling, I never did a funk roll, but funk rolls are pretty like everybody knows how to do a funk roll now,
Mhm.
and I didn't learn it till after I learned jujitsu.
Interesting.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I always thought that was odd because obviously, with freestyle wrestling, if you get taken down, people are sprawled out.
Well,
Then they
freestyle
can't.
is different than folk style.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
explain it because
So
I'm
folk, there's a different scoring system.
okay.
Freestyle is international. This
Right,
is what it's at the Olympics. The top bottom wrestling is only for like for amount of like a close up or for maybe like 15 to 20 seconds.
so I'm
Like
watching the folk style when I'm watching the college
yeah, that's
wrestlers.
folk style.
Gotcha.
Whereas
Okay.
top bottom, if you can ride a guy out a whole period and you get riding time.
Right.
You get a point if you ride a guy for a minute. And then
So it's less focus on control in the international wrestling.
there's less focus on control. You just need exposure. You're trying to throw
Right.
them, get push out. There's also push outs. Um, yeah, completely different types of wrestling. There's not much top bottom. So that's
Mm.
why like if there's a good international wrestler, he might be really good at taking guys down, but he might have trouble holding guys down in MMA because he doesn't understand the parterre or not. It's not parterre, but it's referee's position. When one guy starts down, the other guy starts on top, and they go.
Hmm.
Um, that's more of like collegiate style or folk style, and you know that's it's a good base to have to understand how to control guys on the mat.
Mm.
Yeah.
Were you a fighter as a wrestler? Were you a scrappy wrestler?
I feel like I was scrappy.
Some
Yeah,
big slaps.
like when things got heated, I invited it. And I liked it. And I felt like wrestling had so many rules. As weird as that sounds, it's like I loved wrestling because it was like one-on-one sport, and it was like, okay, who can beat the other guy? But it's also like there's a lot of rules, you know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff you can't do, and I think that's why I kind of gravitated to fighting. I feel like it's the purest sport when it comes to one-on-one like competition.
Mm. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, it the thing that shocks me about the wrestling world is how much of an effort and a grind it is while you're also studying and all that kind of stuff.
yeah.
I can't even begin to imagine how much effort you put in, but that must have set you up really well for a career as an athlete because it's already built into your daily routine that you have to work hard for a couple of hours a day.
Yeah, especially the program I was at. Coach Brian Smith was my coach, head of Missouri Tigers, and he's always preaching about discipline and like doing the right thing and doing one more. Like one more was like after you're done doing the workout, you do an extra. Um, he calls it Tiger style wrestling. So he really ingrained into his guys like how to be dedicated to a program and how to work hard and like you don't. It's some people never get that.
Yeah.
Some people have to learn on their own. But I was thankful enough to be at a program that excuse me, taught me that. And I think it helped my fighting career.
Mm,
I
yeah.
don't
There's
know what the
water
hell.
there if
Oh,
you
the
want if
water?
you want to sip. Yeah. Yeah. So you have two older brothers. Is that right?
Yeah, two older brothers.
Both wrestlers.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
both wrestled. My oldest brother Tim, he wrestled in high school. Didn't do anything after that though. I think and then he went to the Marines. And then my brother Tommy, he wrestled in college, and then he started fighting, and then he kind of just quit everything, and he's like, I got to make money.
Mm. So at what point did MMA kind of was it when you walked into the gym and started training, or did you have a concept of what MMA was outside of your own training? Like say when you were wrestling, were you aware that MMA was happening? If that makes sense.
Like when I was wrestling, I wasn't really thinking about MMA much.
You were aware of it
I
though.
was aware of it
What
though,
was your
because I
concept of it?
like, oh, this is something I could do,
Mm,
but it's like I don't. It's like I don't know how to like where I would go though.
gotcha.
Like there's no tangible gym near me that I could just go to and like learn. Um, like it was just something I'd watch, and I'm like, I could do this. Like I would watch guys fight, and I'm like, I feel like I could beat this guy. Like maybe I'm a little delusional. I just know how to wrestle, but it's like I feel like I can beat that guy,
Yeah, yeah.
and or like with enough training, I feel like I could be better than a guy like that.
Hmm.
Um, and I don't know. I thought it was really cool, like watching guys that came from a wrestling background that succeeded in fighting, like Chael Sonnen,
Hmm.
Rashad Evans, John Jones,
Mark
Tyron Woodley,
Mark Kerr and Kevin
Mark.
Randleman, two of
Yeah,
my
dude.
favorites
Yeah,
ever.
yeah, yeah. So it's like
Beasts.
there's so many wrestlers that did it. I'm like, I could do it, but like, where do I go?
Mm,
And I was in Columbia, Missouri. No gyms there. I wasn't going to go back to Kansas City, and I know Glory was there. But I ended up moving because I was like, you know what? I need to get a job. I need something stable. Fighting's a little crazy.
yep.
And then come to find out, when I moved to South Florida, I didn't even think about it, but Florida is like a hub for fighting. And when I went there, I kind of stumbled upon it. I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
a whole different world down here.
Honestly, I mean, was it 2002, 2003? I made a trip over from the UK to train at ATT
Yeah.
because they were just smashing it. Even on that, like the
When they were
local
in
scene.
Johnson Road, the smaller gym. Yeah,
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 Coconut Creek, and I mean, I was getting my ass kicked on a daily basis by Tiago, and Joyce Santiago was
yeah.
there kicking my ass. Mike Brown was on the mats
Mikey
every
Brown,
day.
Mike
Man, it was.
Corner, two of my
Uh,
Pitt. So Pitt and Mike Brown, dude. Was
but
Dyer there? Was Dyer?
yeah,
Dyer's.
Dyer was
That's
boxing.
literally That's literally my corner.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
Dyer was boxing. I actually had a friend of mine, Ricardo Sams, came over to train with Dyer for a
yeah.
while, and his dad, Howard Davis Jr., cornered me once for
Oh, that's
a
awesome,
fight for
dude.
American
That's
top team.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah, I fought for ATT one time,
yeah,
like took it on like a day's
dude,
notice or
dude.
something. But I mean, what an
We're
incredible
brothers
gym
now.
there. Yeah, man,
Brothers, ATT
absolutely. I
brothers.
can't wrestle though, so you can't
It's
really
all
claim me that
dude.
much.
It's all good.
What's it like on the mats at ATT for you as an athlete? You're surrounded by people that are all chasing their own dream.
it's inspiring, man. You
Mm,
know, you go out on that mat and go to train and just like it's a bunch of killers there, you know,
yeah.
and it's like we have Pantoja, got freaking Kyoji, we got Kayla Harrison, we got you name it, dude. Junior Dos Santos comes in and it's just like, dude, you're a legend.
Mm,
And he's just like, hey man, what's up? You know, it's just like this is a normal everyday experience at that gym, and it's just like, and you get guys that come in that stumble in like from Russia. You get all types of different people from Brazil, all over the world, and you know, I think it's a truly great experience to get to see all these different people from different cultures, you know, all coming together because they love fighting.
mm,
And there's so much I've learned from coaches and even, you know, fighters. Like it's just it's insane.
yeah.
And it's truly like a great experience. And like the no, it's a big gym, but I feel like there's a camaraderie about it as well. Like we're such a big gym, we end up fighting each other at times, but it's just like it's almost normal at this point.
Mm,
And it's like I don't know, man. It's like one big family, I feel like.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and families do fight from time to time. I'm
Exactly.
sure you've had a few scraps with your brothers in your day, right?
Oh, dude, so many. Dude, why do you think I fight?
What are their concept? What's their thought of you? What you're doing now? I mean, they must be
Oh,
incredibly proud of you.
they're super proud. They love
Yeah.
it.
What were you like as a kid?
Dude,
Energy,
honestly,
full of
oh,
energy.
full of energy.
Yeah,
Actually, they diagnosed me with like ADHD. Yeah. So it was
that's an extra fuel source if you're
yeah,
an MMA
I don't
fighter.
know. Yeah, I was a crazy kid.
Yeah.
Constantly, you know, doing something, getting into trouble, couldn't stop moving, you know. It didn't help that my parents weren't like my mom was always working and my dad was kind of out of the picture at moments. So it was like I was kind of by myself,
Yeah.
which isn't great. And my brother was kind of like off doing his stuff. So no real guidance, but you know, I found guidance I think through wrestling
Mhm.
and through you know, just wanting to achieve more than the some people that I see around me.
Mm.
Um,
Who are you aside from wrestling and aside from MMA? What do you do when you're not in the gym? When you're not trying to when you're trying to forget about MMA?
dude, trying to like learn how to fix stuff
Okay.
because I'm a homeowner. I own a few rentals as well. So, you know, my wife, I just married her.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, man.
That's awesome.
But her dad's a contractor, so
Right.
I always hit him up and he's helping me. We do projects together. We're actually about to build some homes in DR together. So like learn I just like learning new stuff and being able to be useful. If that
Mm.
makes if like something breaks, like I know how to like fix this or I know somebody that can help us fix this. Doing that and like I like doing van life and getting out into nature.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got a little converted van. Um,
Where do you go?
dude, out to the West Coast is amazing.
Oh,
Go
really?
to
Yeah.
Washington, go to Vegas a few times, go train.
Yeah. That's a long
Yeah,
drive though. If you,
it's fun, but it's in a van. You can stop anywhere
yeah,
and
true.
sleep.
Mm.
Got air conditioning, got a heater, got a fridge, got a kitchen. I bring a little. I bring my PS5,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
I got a little Starlink. So if I want to game a little bit,
Oh,
I can
really? Yeah.
game. Yeah.
What do you play? What's your game?
I play Call of Duty mostly. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, Warzone. I like camaraderie. I like playing with friends. So
Right. Right. Right.
yeah, I was doing like I would play. What was I playing for a little bit? Oh, Cyberpunk. I played a
Oh,
little bit.
yeah.
I beat that game. It was fun. It was fun. It
Yeah.
was
People like that.
like a role playing game.
I'm just recently got into Red Dead Redemption 2.
Dude, Red Dead. I beat them both. Amazing. Great game.
But
Great storyline
if
too.
you're from the US though, it must be just like kind of wandering around in the wilderness. It seems unusual to me because America's so vast
Yeah.
compared to the UK. It's
Yeah.
a real adventure for me. Whereas
Yeah.
like it must be kind of like van life for you, right?
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Just on a
Essentially.
horse.
Yeah, on a horse. Dude, that's the thing in DR. I think we want to have like animals, have some horses. It's not so far out and you're like in the middle of nowhere, but it's like a Caribbean, like you're like a Caribbean cowboy,
Mm,
man. Want to be able to ride some horses and, you
sounds
know,
good.
have some chickens and, you know, maybe have some crops to take care of and some fruit trees.
Yeah, yeah. Bit more
Yeah.
self-sufficient.
That's what I'm kind of aiming for
Yeah.
in the future. Yeah.
What would you be doing if you weren't fighting, do you think?
Dude, I don't know.
Was there ever a sliding door moment where it was like, I could do that, but no, I'm gonna focus on fighting for a bit.
I wanted to get like I just wanted to get a good job that could like pay
Mm,
me well, but it's like I never was passionate about anything. I think competition really brings passion out of me. and I feel like I couldn't find it in business, but maybe in business, like I don't know, sales maybe, I don't know, but I'm
Yeah.
not a good salesman. I don't like that type of stuff. I don't like
What about coaching? Would you get into?
no
No?
coaching. Ah, dude, no, because
Sick of MMA
well,
fights.
it's like
They're all mad.
they're hard to coach.
Yeah.
Some kids are so hard to coach, and
Yeah.
like also like the pay doesn't like the amount of time you spend with like a fighter or a kid, like if you're trying to coach wrestling. I could coach wrestling a little bit when I was like when I first moved to Florida. And it's just like the amount of time and like effort and emotions that you put into it. Like don't get me wrong, it's great to see them like succeed and do better and them getting better and them growing as a person. But it's just also like I need to pay my bills.
Mm.
And it's just like sometimes like it doesn't scratch the itch, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um
Got to put fuel in the van.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So what what
Exactly.
what what are your road tripping songs then? I'm a
Road
Dire
tripping,
Straits man. If I'm on the
Dire
West
Straits.
Coast, like PCH for me, driving
Lately,
through
I'd
the
say
San
Zach
Juan.
Bryan.
Oh, okay, yeah,
I like
okay.
Zach Bryan,
Yeah,
and now I'm getting into like folk music.
right.
I like you know Camp,
No,
CAAMP.
no, I'll check him out.
Yeah,
When
you
you
should
say
check him
folk,
out.
I think like Woody Guthrie and like old school Oklahoma
Oh yeah, I mean
gospel.
it's probably stemmed from that, but
Right.
it's more like it's like newer.
Okay.
Yeah,
Old
it's
Crow
more
Medicine
modern.
Show, you heard them?
What's that?
Old Crow Medicine Show?
Yes,
Like,
yes,
yeah,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like I'm dipping my toe into it. Because I mean I like country, but
Hmm.
not like I'm not. It's too poppy for me sometimes, so I'm
Right.
like eh. Um, big. I mean I'm all over the place when it comes to music. I like you know rap. I like EDM. I like classic rock. I like country. I like folk now, and I'm all over the place. I go through like modes where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna listen to this for a while, and I find a good playlist and I listen to it and I add to it a little bit, and then I'm like, all right, I'm tired of this genre. I'm gonna move on,
Yeah.
or I'll go back to a genre I was listening to a year ago.
Hmm. Hmm.
Oh, I like 70s and 80s music.
Okay.
Yeah, James Brown's great. Curtis
Awesome.
Mayfield, Earth, Wind and Fire.
What do you do
Um,
about walkout music? Do you ever choose
Walkout. You
something?
know, I got one now that's like I'm sticking with.
Yeah.
It's John Denver, Country Roads. Yeah,
What a song.
yeah,
What a song. One of my granddad's favorite ones, that one.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
it's a good one. It's a good one.
Take me home. Yeah, brilliant.
Country Road.
Is it
Yeah,
beautiful? So,
everybody knows it, so
yeah,
it's like it's a good one.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's like one of the US versions of Sweet Caroline for the
yeah,
UK.
yeah.
Like people always get up and sing
Yeah.
that one in
I
the
feel like
UK.
everybody it's the same with Country Roads.
Yeah.
Every time I play it, people are singing along, you
Mm,
know. I remember I played it in the first time I did it I think was in Ireland when I fought Fabian the first time,
right.
and I was like I think they should sing it. They're probably gonna sing it, but I wasn't sure, you
Yeah.
know. And I
And the
go out and
Irish did.
everybody's singing it. I'm like, this is sick. And then they were like calling our names, and I think they called Fabian's name first, and they're cheering. And then they call my name, and I get like boos. I'm like, damn, dude. Ah, and I was kind of hurt. I was like, oh, I thought you guys would cheer for me because of my walkout song, but
Yeah.
no, they didn't care.
So I've got to ask you because
Yeah,
this. I mean, I was fortunate to get my first loss out of my way in my very first MMA fight.
yeah,
I was 0-1 off the bat. So straight away, all my hopes of being undefeated and all that were out of the
yeah,
window,
gone already. Yeah,
which at the time was really disappointing because I thought I was just going to smash everybody, as we always do. But
yeah,
in hindsight, it was actually quite nice to be able to go into my second fight and being like, you know, this,
yeah.
I've already,
Pressure's off already.
yeah, I've
Yeah,
already kind of experienced it.
yeah.
You so far into your career before you picked up that first loss. Were you prepared for it? Had you prepared yourself for it? And was there a point maybe in your wrestling career where you kind of went through the same thing where it's like, man, losing is a part of this. It sucks, but I'm gonna feed off this.
Yeah, no, this is common. You know, I've lost so many wrestling matches. I've lost big matches. There's many moments in my life where I've lost. So
Right.
it was nothing new. It just had been a while since I've taken a loss like that, you know. And no, it wasn't anything crazy, you know. You give yourself time to kind of dwell on it, and then you learn from it, and then you move on.
Mm,
That's kind of where I'm at, you know. It's a part of progressing, and definitely took some good
mm,
knowledge from that. You know, I feel like I'm wiser as a person from that experience.
mm. Does it change your feeling about it? The fact that you were winning the fight. Does
Does it
it
change?
change your feeling? Because obviously, I mean, it was.
Yeah,
I mean, you were dominating for the most part.
so that's also another thing. Like it's like you weren't getting beat up the
Mm,
whole time, and you weren't getting dominated, and then you lost. it's like you were winning the fight and then you lost in the last few seconds. And it's like, yeah, I feel like it helps a little bit too. 'Cause it's like, I know I'm better than that guy. So that's why, like, when he beat Fabian, I'm like, thank God, great, because
That'd have created
now,
an awkward triangle, wouldn't
yeah,
it? If
not,
it had,
yeah,
yeah,
then
yeah.
it's like, okay, now I got to fight this guy again, and then I've already beat him twice, and the guy I really want to fight is, not the champ, but
Mm.
he's the champ still, which is good.
What were your thoughts on his performance?
I didn't really watch it. I just saw the ending, and I was like, okay, that's sweet. I'm
Hmm.
just happy with the outcome.
Yeah.
I didn't watch too much of it, but curious as to why Fabian was wrestling though.
I
Yeah,
mean, you would have heard us say it in the commentary. We were saying the same thing. I
yeah.
don't know whether it was the element of surprise. I think that was
Maybe,
partly what
and
they were leaning
and
into.
like
But
Fabian's like a good athlete, and he can
mm,
pick some stuff up. Like I've seen him like hit some good takedowns, and like I feel like Costello's a guy he could probably take down, but it's like why waste it when you're so good on the feet,
mm,
Um, and maybe like taking yourself out of your own mode is might not be the smartest thing to do.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I'd be interested to see where his head's at afterwards because I would imagine that he kind of feels the same about it. A lot of energy was wasted.
yeah.
That must be an interesting thing for you as well, watching people do the same as what you do, but burn so much more energy doing
Dude,
it.
even no, even me doing it, it's like hard. It's not easy. Like that's also another thing. I feel like I messed up in my fight with Costello is that I was trying to get the finish and like get him out of there early,
Mm,
and I think I burned up a little too much early on, and then not to mention other things that happened during the camp and during the lead up to that fight, but like it wasn't me that night. I think I was trying to force a certain outcome, didn't happen, and then I was like, all right, well, fuck, now I got to survive through this and win. And I got caught in the end. So it is what it is, and you learn from it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Did you get any kind of motivation from it though? You're like, all right, okay, well, the belt's not mine anymore. I've got to go and get it again. Was it a
yeah. I
bit
mean, it's a
reinvigorating?
big reason why I resigned.
Yeah, good. Okay.
Like,
Mm,
I need to right that wrong, and I need to get that belt back. Also, PFL is kind of like changing modes. They're kind of rebranding in a sense, and I agree with some of the changes they're making, and I'm close with Mike Hogan, and I think he's taking the reins now. So I think that's really important. I think this promotion is going to stay afloat and it's going to be run correctly, and it's another big reason. But yeah, I really want to right that wrong, and it makes the division more interesting.
mm.
I had to take a loss, but it is what it is. Now it's exciting. There's fights that people want to see.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. What's your concept of the middleweight division overall? Are you watching it on a weekly? Are you paying attention to the UFC rankings and all that kind of stuff? Are you a fan of the sport? I mean, that's kind
Yeah.
of odd question to ask, but some people just don't watch it at all.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the sport, but I feel like I'm getting pulled out of it here and there.
Right.
Like you said, like what do you like to do to get your mind off fighting? It's like I can't be on fighting all the time. So
I
that's
watch
like
sumo.
you watch
I
sumo?
watch sumo. That's the thing.
Dude,
And I'm gonna hear some grunts from some people in the room because they're like, "Dude, you're talking about
dude,
sumo
have
again."
you seen Armor MMA?
No.
Bro, it's guys that go out in armor and they fight each other with like swords and like
Armor, dude, I've done it.
you've done it?
Let me tell you a
Dude, I
story.
want to do this.
I went out to Poland. I was doing like a tour around Poland, and I'd gone to all these MMA gyms, and the guys that had set this thing up for
Yeah,
me to do this documentary, they
yeah.
they seemed adamant on me getting my ass kicked. So every single gym we went to Poznan to Jan Blachowicz gym.
Uh-huh.
I walked in, and there's a list on the wall. Dan Hardy's training. Write your names down here for rounds. There were 18 people on that list to do 5-minute rounds with
Oh
me.
my
Like
God.
literally, I just got cooked for a week. But
Jeez.
the one in particular, I was in this leisure center, nice big leisure center, running tracks and tennis courts and stuff.
Yeah.
And they said, "Hey, face the camera and don't turn around when you can hear something coming towards you."
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So I'm standing facing the camera and I heard this clinking and crunching, and I turn around. There's four guys in full knight's armor walking towards me, right? And the main guy was like 6'4". He was the European champion.
Yeah.
The next thing, they're armoring me up, and I'm being
Like,
handed a
what do we
sword
do?
and stuff,
Yeah.
and like. I didn't sign up for this. This guy comes swinging out with a sword. The thing that blew my mind is that you can smell the burning from the sparks.
Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
sparking.
So like, I'm like, am I on fire? Like
Yeah.
this, it was the
Dude, that's
weirdest thing.
crazy.
But so here's an interesting thing, and I think you might find the same problem because you're a wrestler. You're going to be too close to them.
Yeah.
Like I was hitting them with the hilt of the sword
Yeah.
because I'm used to being in
Super
punching
close,
range.
yeah. But so you're in like long range, like
He was
further
long
than
range.
kicking
He was
distance. Yeah.
kicking me. I mean, we were
Dude, I was
punching and
seeing
kicking.
guys like I was seeing like some of the techniques they were using. Like one guy was like like clashing swords with the guy, and then he would like pull off his other hand and he would punch him, dude. And
I love it.
then they would like he would like throw the sword at him, boom, and then like he'd go inside low. I was like, dude, what the heck? It was
Brilliant.
crazy. Yeah,
You
like
know,
I liked seeing like the techniques they would use
yeah.
and like
See, this is why I've
very
gotten into
interesting.
sumo recently as well, because there's a like, and you were talking about Steve Mocco in his judo. You'll see a lot of judo techniques in it,
Yeah, that makes
and a
sense.
lot of the smaller guys that have come over from judo that have tried to bulk up, that are like 250 pounds, that
Yeah,
are small for sumo
yeah,
wrestling,
yeah, yeah,
but their footwork and their speed is amazing,
yeah.
and also the pummeling techniques. There's a
Oh, I
lot of
bet.
really
I
interesting
bet.
stuff
I
that
gotta
they do.
watch that. I gotta watch that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be interested to get your take on it as a wrestler.
I'm half Korean, so
Oh, well,
yeah.
exactly there. Do you,
I think I come from a line of sumo wrestlers.
is there anything in your life that anchors you to that Korean
Uh,
ancestry?
I would say
Have you ever done taekwondo?
no. My brother did though.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, I was too crazy. So this is the funny thing. I was so crazy. My parents were like, or my mom specifically was like, we don't want him to do taekwondo. Let's make him play violin. So he played violin for like a few years when I was a kid, and then I had to play piano. But then I was like, I had a conversation with my dad, and I was like, Dad, do I have to do this? He's like, No. I was like, Can I just play football and wrestle? He goes, Sure, yes, you can do that. I'm like, Oh, it's like you're at that age where you didn't know you had like
Choice.
a
Yeah.
choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, what? And I remember, yeah, that changed my whole life. But I think something that anchors me to my Korean heritage is the food.
Okay.
Yeah, Korean barbecue, amazing. You like Korean barbecue?
Yeah.
Dude, it's the
Absolutely.
best.
Mm.
So there's a couple good restaurants down in South Florida.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, if you're ever around, let me know. I'll
Definitely.
shoot you the spots.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Where's the go-to then? If you're
Go to for me is near me. It's in Margate. It's called Hallyu. It's very good. That's in Broward.
Mhm.
But if you're in Palm Beach, there's another place called Yami. It's Japanese and Korean.
Okay.
It's Japanese like sushi and they have it's Korean barbecue. Super good.
Sounds good.
Yeah, one's all you can eat, and then the other one is more like you select what you want. It's a little bit more expensive.
Mm.
I like the all you can eat one. I know the owner too at Hallyu in Margate. He's a great guy, and like the food quality is great for all you can eat. Usually, it's not like if it's all you can eat, it's usually like lower quality.
Yeah.
But this guy really like puts an emphasis on like having high quality with all you can eat.
Sounds
Yeah,
good. It's making me hungry. There
dude,
used to be a Korean
I'm starving.
Korean taco truck in LA that I used to
Korean
go
taco
to.
truck. What was it
Korean
called?
fusion. I can't remember what it was
I have
called.
a buddy, Daniel Choi. He owns Soul Taco.
Okay.
It's in Chicago, St. Louis.
Oh right. Oh, we'll be there soon,
I
so
think he
we'll
has one in
have to
in
check it out.
Columbia as well. Yeah, you should check it out.
Mm,
If you need, hit me up. I'll get you guys connected.
sounds
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sounds good.
He'd love to have you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be
he's a
great.
fight fan too.
Is
So
that right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice. Right. Let's have one of these questions because this is it's an idea that we've got that we get staff from the PFL of which we've got loads in these adjacent
Bunch.
rooms,
Yeah,
and they've all got questions like non-fighter to fighter
I love
questions.
it.
So grab one of these and
Read it
it'll have
aloud.
the name of the person as well on it who asked the question.
Okay, Diego. Is there something you've had to sacrifice for this career that still weighs on you today?
Oh, that's a
That's a
good
that's a
question.
good one.
I was a lead singer of a heavy metal band. That was my
Yeah.
sacrifice. Still miss that.
Sacrifice. Man, honestly, no. There's nothing. Like I think this is what I was like meant to do.
Yeah.
Like the only sacrifice I think I had to do was like be far from my family. So maybe that's it, being far from my family. But I found a new family with my wife's family.
Mm,
Um, my in-laws are amazing. They're Dominican. They're my Dominican family, man.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Mom cooks amazing food. I get Dominican food and Korean food now,
Yeah.
dude. It's
So
amazing.
you don't mind the discipline of the diet or anything like that. You don't miss
God,
just kind of being able to eat what everybody else is eating.
I mean, I don't cut that much weight,
Okay.
so I feel like okay, when I was wrestling, yeah, I got to miss out a lot because the weight I had to make weight all the time.
Right.
It was like a whole season. But with MMA, I don't cut that much weight. I don't get too big. I'm pretty disciplined just in general. I like to eat healthy. I don't like to overeat. So when it comes to fight week, I'm not really cutting too much weight, so I
Mm,
can kind of enjoy, eating what I want
yeah.
for the most part.
So what do you do? What do you do during fight week to get through the week? I used to play my Xbox. That was my thing.
Yeah, that's
I'd
good.
sit in my room.
We play liar's dice.
Liar's dice.
Yeah. It's a good game.
I heard that one.
Like last night we had Grant Dawson, me, Pitbull, or no, Pit wasn't playing. Daya was playing. Um, Dakota, he's on the card tonight. He's playing, or he's fighting on the undercard. His coach, Grant Dawson's wife, and like Bo
She
Nickel was
she
there.
cooks amazing
Oh,
cooking.
amazing,
Oh
amazing
my
cook, yeah.
goodness.
Um, and we were just all playing. It's like there's all these die on the table, and you have a cup, and it's about like you say that like let's say you're next to me, and I say there's you start off with like 25 die, and it's like an odds game. Like okay, I think there's 5 2s, and then you go next, and then you would have to say, oh, you either say there's 5 6s or whatever. You could say there's 7, whatever. And then like essentially you go around the table until the odds get kind of sketchy and you call BS. And then everybody lifts up their cups and you put out how many die there were based off the last call. And then if it's like if it hits, then the guy that called BS loses a die. And then if it doesn't hit, the guy that called BS or the guy that made the call that got called BS on loses a die. So essentially, the whole point of the game is to keep your die,
Okay.
and the dice get smaller and smaller and smaller, so the odds keep changing, and it's a fun game.
So who's the king? Who's the winner at it?
Last night, I guess I went to bed, but Grant won last
Okay.
night. Yeah, yeah, Grant Dawson won.
Mm, sounds like a good game.
It's a great
I
game,
don't know if I'd have the patience to be playing games with people
but it's
though during
fun because
fight week.
you can talk shit.
Okay, okay.
And like it's kind of like there's banter and like you're trying to convince people to make certain moves and then,
Right.
like sometimes there's like you team up with somebody next to you a little bit to try to get other people out.
Mm.
It's fun.
We
It's
we have a
fun.
TV show in the UK called Would I Lie to You? You might like that one.
Okay,
They
nice.
read out something on a card and then they have to convince the other team that it's true, whether it is or not.
Oh, okay.
That's a lot
But
of fun.
sometimes it is.
Sometimes it is,
Oh,
sometimes
okay, I
it's
like
not.
that. I
But
like
usually
that.
the
You
things
could
that's
see
true
like
is
what people do to try to convince people. That's nice.
yeah.
I like
I
that.
mean, and they get and they're mostly comedians that are doing it, so
That's
they get
great. Oh, that's
outlandish,
amazing. That's
It's a
amazing.
good show. You'd
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it. You'd
Nice,
like it.
nice.
Right. Let's wrap this up because you've got a big weekend ahead,
Yep.
and I could sit and talk to you all day, my friend. It's been a
Same here,
fascinating
dude.
conversation.
It's
Really
amazing.
appreciate you joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. If you're not following Johnny already, make sure you give him a follow. Watch his fights. Watch his incredible skill set, his wrestling pace. Absolutely insane. I'm looking forward to calling his fight this weekend, and I've really enjoyed this conversation, my friend.
Same here, man. We gotta have some
Appreciate
more.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Over some Korean food.
Yeah,
next.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
we're
That'll
down.
be
We're
fun.
down. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time between rounds.